Alright guys, so the newest DOKKANFEST exclusive is Metal Cooler, and he is amazing, and his team is amazing. So I did hold off on doing the showcase until I got Metal Cooler at 100%. There is a lot to talk about. Let's just go ahead and awaken Metal Cooler. Let's get him to 100%. Let's jump in. Right now is a very, very busy time for JP Dokkan. Global is starting to get a couple of things too. You know, they did just get Blue Vegeta and Jiren previously. Then, you know, possibly LR Bardock stuff is coming soon for Global. But, like, you know, between all this Metal Cooler stuff, all of the farmable units that were in that Metal Cooler story event, like, you know, all the SR Metal Coolers are decent. There's this Metal Cooler. I wanted to specifically highlight him because this guy you could use to farm the super attack of the AGL Metal Cooler. That's very important. It's a very easy drop rate because some of the Frieza units are pretty easy to acquire too. You know, something like LR Frieza, especially after the update to LR Frieza's event, it's very easy to farm him. So really everyone should have LR Frieza. Okay, so we rainbowed Metal Cooler. Let's go ahead and awaken him now, and we will go ahead and test him out in an event. This beast right here, Metal Cooler, is an exceptional unit, by the way. He is very, very good. I would say he's better than the AGL Transforming Goku, better than STR Super Buu. So he's one of the better Dokkan Fest we've got recently. So I'll level him up, and then we'll go hop into an event and test him out. Alright guys, so Metal Cooler is of course the most malevolent clan category leader, which is the Frieza race team, which we wanted. I love that they have given us several categories recently, which we've been asking for, like, you know, the Android category, the Frieza clan category, these categories that are really putting a lot of units who weren't on good category teams before into good category teams. You know, look at STR Final Form Frieza. When he first released and the 250 million download celebration, he had only the Planet Namek Saga category, which wasn't a real category team. Now he's on 2 category teams, and this guy is insane, by the way. That Final Form Frieza. I probably will do a separate video specifically highlighting him on this team. The reason for this is because he is just, this Frieza, he's outrageous. STR Final Form Frieza is the hardest hitting unit on this team, as wild as that sounds. They really have made recent un-Dokkan, like non-Dokkan Fest exclusive, non-LR units on these new Dokkan Fest banners insanely powerful. You know, Physical Kaioken Goku, SCR Final Form Frieza, these units are like better than some Dokkan Fest. They're usable on a team full of Dokkan Fest. They're very, very good units. Alright, beautiful. Right off the bat, we get My Cooler in the first rotation, which is exactly what we want. The reason for this is because Cooler starts off with an attack and defensive buff, but then he has to be hit 7 times to build up his maximum attack power. He really is an exceptional unit. One reason he is so good is because he really just does so much to provide for the team. Like, Metal Cooler, he gets an attack and defensive buff of 80%. Every attack gives him... Okay, so he's at 2 million already. Again, I think 2 million is probably a good benchmark for new Dokkan Fest units, by the way. You know, if we're getting a new Dokkan Fest, so, you know, let's say Blue Gogeta, you know, maybe a Super Baby 2 Dokkan Fest, anything like that. If we're getting a unit like that, I do think 2 million is a good baseline for them because, you know, it's the newest, hottest thing. For pretty much all other units, not counting LRs, I do think 1 million is a good baseline for how much they can contribute to the team. But a new Dokkan Fest unit like Cooler, if they can hit 2 million, I'm good with that. That's why SCR Super Buu annoys me a bit, because it's pretty hard for him to get 2 million. Like, you got to do a lot for SCR Super Buu to hit 2 million, which is not great in my opinion. Alright, so let's take a look. This is SCR Final Form Frieza without us really optimizing him, right? He will have his full passive. So let's go ahead and see what he sits at. 2.2, okay. But again, that's not really optimizing a lot of his links, because Cooler himself actually does not have Universe's Most Malevolent, which is a very common attack link that, you know, pretty much all Frieza clan members have, pretty much except for Metal Cooler. He's like the only one that doesn't have that. I don't like that they didn't give him that, because, you know, it's like, oh, we have to give him auto regeneration, like these like Metal Cooler only links, which, you know, is fine. Well, Metal Rildo is on there too, but I mean, just take that crap off and give him Universe's Most Malevolent, man. That really would be a lot better. The other thing too, he lowers attack and defense. Again, you know, his leader skill is 170% across the board. So we now have 2 leader skills that basically are like all 170 plus. The Metal Cooler team and the LR Goku and Frieza team. Both very, very impressive. Yeah, so again, I'm going to keep putting Metal Cooler in harm's way because we want to do that so he'll continue to build up his passive. I went to the Boo event, so specifically we could see him with his full passive. Okay, so now he's up to 2 million without Turles on rotation. Along with lowering attack and defense, Metal Cooler also, and the 170% across the board leader skill, which is very, very good. He also has extreme AGL 90%. That's why I did bring Turles. Turles does fit on the team, and he is, I don't want to call him a must, but he is phenomenal. I'm going to be testing out a team build for this team where we bring all movie boss characters that are on Universe's Most Malevolent. It's easier than you think it would be. And then we also bring a friend Turles. So we'll have 2 Turleses, and then we could also bring, you know, there's like the Int Frieza, the GT Int Frieza, who's a pretty good support unit. There's some other, you know, support units we could have. So we could have essentially almost like a different movie boss team, because we'd have multiple Turleses really giving them a big buff. I think that would be a pretty good team build, and I do think it would work very effectively. All right, so I want to, well, maybe I should have put the friend Metal Cooler in you know, harm's way right there, but it's not really the biggest deal because, again, the main, 2.7, you know, 2.7, that's basically with, like, none of his attack links active, by the way. You know, he does have Fierce Battle with Metal Cooler, but there's a lot of other things like Prodigies, Universe's Most Malevolent that are not being activated there. And this is a cooler with 1 dupe, 1.8 million with Turles on rotation. That is very good. And like all the attack lowering and defense lowering that he could do and other units on this team can do is going to be very... Look at Turles, by the way. Turles able to tank even only with a 90% buff. Usually, I'm not the biggest fan of using units from the secondary part of the leader skill, but a unit like Turles, again, is a must. Absolutely. Okay, so we're not going to be able to build up Cooler like before he gets hit right here, but this is perfect. I think after this, Cooler will either be at his maximum build-up, he'll have been hit 7 times, or he's going to be right there. Yeah, wow, he's going to go over 3 million, by the way. Yeah, easily. Oh, man, okay. So, Metal Cooler is wild, bro. Boom. I think only one more would... I think he's built up all the way. Or one more. It's hard to count the exact amount of attacks, but when Turles is back on rotation, he's definitely going to hit a 3 million attack stat. You know, this Most Malevolent Clan team is going to be very, very strong moving forward. And again, here's the thing too. A lot of these units are old. You know, Physical Cooler, you know, Angel Golden Frieza's kind of old. You know, what are some other units on here? You know, Tech Final Form Frieza is pretty old. Even LR Frieza, pretty old. Like, you guys get what I'm saying. A lot of these units, they're not exactly new. I wouldn't really count Physical Full Power Frieza because, you know, he did get an easy A. He's essentially a revamped unit. So, you know, he's definitely on the newer end. But we still have room for an LR, a summonable LR, which I think might drop in a couple of days. Like, this team is already powerful enough to sustain itself. But, you know, we toss a summonable LR on here, and it's just gonna be it's gonna be wild. And you know, they could easily do, you know, like an LR Final Form Frieza or something like that. All right, so here we go. This, I'm pretty sure Metal Cooler is gonna finish him off right here, and if Metal Cooler doesn't, Transforming Frieza will. So what is Metal Cooler going to hit right here? 2.8. Okay, oh, so he was just shy of 3 million. But with Transforming Frieza, how is he with Links? Because Transforming Frieza, yeah, I guess Transforming Frieza doesn't have Nightmare, which Cooler has. Maybe, this was just sort of a first run, right, going through. Let me also hop back into a fight real quick. Let me build up his highest passive, and let me also get all these links active with Turles on rotation, and let's see how much damage Metal Cooler will be putting out at that point. So give me 1 second while I set up the best rotation for Metal Cooler. Alright guys, so here we are in the rotation that would be better suited for Metal Cooler. He has already received the maximum 7 attacks, so his passive is fully built up at this point. A very fair 355,000 attack set. Very nice. Now, I have him linked up with the AGL Baba Shop Cooler. He's actually giving Metal Cooler Nightmare, Thirst for Conquest, and Fierce Battle. All pretty good attack links. Now, Metal Cooler doesn't gain anything extra from linking up with Turles. However, if our health was low enough, he could get Big Bad Bosses. So I will do this. If, you know, Super Boo wants to super attack and maybe do some damage, we could also activate Big Bad Bosses, which would definitely put Metal Cooler over 3 million. But let's see where he goes right here. Most of his attack links active except for Big Bad Bosses. We have his passive fully built up, and we have Turles on rotation, double 170% attack lead. Let's see what Metal Cooler does. 3 million. Okay, there we go. There we go. So Big Bad Bosses could stretch him probably to about 3.2 million then. Would be about Metal Cooler's high point. But again, that is incredibly good. Don't get completely fooled by the fact that Tech Beerus can hit 3.5 million consistently. Like, there's a reason we were all going crazy about Tech Beerus. It's like absolutely wild what they did to him. Like, Metal Cooler is really good, and he's better than a lot of the recent DOKKANFEST units. There's no doubt about that. He's on several category teams. His leader skill is fantastic. Metal Cooler is really good. So let's go ahead and go into a breakdown of him now. Alright guys, so here's what the most malevolent clan category looks like for your boy here. I have most of the units, I believe, that are on the category. So it was important, I think, to show this because one reason why I think Metal Cooler's leader skill is so impressive with the 170% across the board is just how few units are actually on the category. And many of them are DOKKANFEST exclusives. Yeah, I'm looking through the category. There is like a Tech First Form Frieza I don't have, who was given out when LR Frieza first came out on both versions. And Celza, the fusion of Cell and Frieza, is not on this category. Interesting. But of course, the fusion of Cooler and Frieza, he is on this category. So that's interesting. But this is essentially it. Outside of that Tech First Form Frieza, I believe that's the only Frieza category unit I don't have of, you know, any relevance here. So if we take a look at this Metal Cooler, man, he is a very impressive unit. So this right here is fused with the Big Getty Star Metal Cooler. His leader skill is Most Malevolent Clan category, Key 3, and HP attack and defense 170%. And then he also gives Extreme AGL 3 key and HP attack and defense 90%. His super attack is the Lock-On Buster, which does immense damage and lowers attack and defense. Now, I probably would prefer if he raised his own attack and defense, but it really does seem as though, you know, abilities like this, lowering attack and defense, they really have like kind of pulled back on making all bosses immune to that stuff. So they do actually seem valuable, especially if you guys noticed when we were going through that Buhan event, the fact that we were lowering his attack so much constantly, he wasn't able to hurt us, like at all. The Metal Cooler lowering attack is a big factor in that. So many units have that ability now, it really does significantly lower the amount of damage you're taking because it stacks. you know, every additional by Metal Cooler, if we have a Metal Cooler on both rotations doing it, the boss's attack just gets so low, they're not really able to do any damage. That's another reason why it would be very difficult, I think, to activate big bad bosses on this team, is because your defense is already so high with the 170% defensive buff from his leader skill, and then Metal Cooler's just lowering everyone's fucking attack nonstop. So it's going to be tough there. His passive skill, Domination of the Machine Planet, is attack and defense 80% at the start of turn. He gets an additional 10% attack with each attack received up to 70%. The way those two passives work together, they're multiplied into each other, basically giving him an attack buff of 206% after it's fully maxed out, which is why he's able to get over 3 million, by the way. He also recovers 7% HP at the end of turn after receiving attack, so if he gets hit as the turn ends, he will heal 7% HP. Another reason why the team is just going to be so defensive, so tanky. And then his core appears when HP is 50% or below, once only. That is a giant transformation, similar to Tapion. It kind of more of a similar mechanic to Tapion, more so than the Great Apes, in that it only happens once when HP is below 50%. We did not see the giant transformation here, but it is going to be very powerful. You know, you guys know with the update to the giant transformations, they are a lot better since they can crit, they can additional, all that stuff. They don't mess up your rotations, you don't have to worry about anything like that. So the giant transformation, this just makes Metal Cooler even better for the difficult modes, is really all that does. We'll get to that in a second. So his links are Auto Regeneration, Nightmare, Thirst for Conquest, Strongest Clan in Space, Big Bad Bosses, Transform, and Fierce Battle. Transform hurts him on the Frieza team. 12 K multiplier is 150%, but Transform does help him on this squad right here. No, not that one. This squad right here, the Giant category team. Metal Cooler's on the Giant team. So now, all of a sudden, by the way, the Giant team is looking a lot better because they got Metal Cooler, who is easily the best unit on the category, no discussion there. They've got Lord Slug, too, who's probably the second best unit on the category, also very good. And Great Ape Tora recently was added, and Global's about to get him tonight, and the next video I do for today is going to be a 100% showcase for that Great Ape Tora. So the Giant team is now a lot better, like seriously. This Metal Cooler, Lord Slug, Tora added to that team, it's going to be very, very helpful. It's not nearly as bad as when it first came out. Again, because we did not expect they're going to add a DOKKANFEST exclusive Metal Cooler that would be able to go Giant, but they did, and it's very, very powerful. Of course, he's also on the Most Malevolent category clan. He's on Revived Warriors, where he could be pretty good. Could he get a higher attack stat on Revived Warriors? I don't know. I don't think so, but possibly because of Physical Kid Buu. Physical Kid Buu, of course, gives a 50% attack buff. Depending on if he could get Nightmare and Thirst for Conquest active, he could potentially get a higher attack stat on Revived Warriors. But again, just another amazing unit for Revived Warriors Super Battle Road. And then he's also on the Movie Boss team, where he will be tremendous if you decide to use him there. So really, the Movie Boss category team, Giant form, and Revived Warrior team all just got easier for Super Battle Road. Revived Warrior already has a Super Battle Road stage. Giant form, Movie Bosses, and Most Malevolent Clan probably will in the next update. And at that point, this Metal Cooler is going to be a superstar in Super Battle Road. He is an amazing unit, definitely worthy of a rainbow. You know, I kind of rainbowed Super Buu. I wasn't too willing to, but he just showed up easily. I didn't have to summon very much. This Metal Cooler, I would have chased. He's very good. So, thanks guys for watching, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Shout outs to Metal Cooler, man. Really, he's very good.